Hi, my name is Hannah Williams, and I'm a senior here at Oak Park High School in the AP Studio Art program. Today I'd like to share with you some pieces from my 2013 Breath portfolio. This first piece is called Pelvic Matter. It is in watercolor, and it uses a distinct colorization to demonstrate my understanding of how to blend colors and make them come together as a whole. It also demonstrates the ability to create balance and symmetry in a piece that is not asymmetrical. This piece is called the Muse, and it is also in watercolor, silver leafing, and pen. This piece uses a series of controlled and uncontrolled elements to demonstrate harmony and flow. Again, the focal point is not in the center of field of vision, creating an interesting composition through asymmetry. This next piece is also in watercolor, and it is called Mannequins and Pears. It also, as you can see, has a little bit of pencil lines, and I used that geometrical shapes and outlines in an uncontrolled fashion to show my ability, again, to create harmony with two opposite graphic design elements. The colors are also nicely working together and contrasted on the black background for visual effect. This piece is in ink and is called Sound of Cabin by the Sea. This piece really demonstrates the basic design element of line work. Instead of clear-cut, easy-to-see lines, I used a more interesting scribble stroke to create a pattern in the work. Values also work well in this piece, with contrast between the lights and the darks drawing attention to the composition itself. This piece, entitled Paper Planes, is a series of 2 separate installments. Values work incredibly well in this piece, with at least 9 shades represented in both installments. The saturation in both pieces is almost completely opposite, with the charcoal installment on the left being much more saturated than the graphite on the right. This works very well in harmonizing the 2 pieces and balancing them together as one. This is a linoleum print in ink entitled Sister Sister. The colors in this piece are bright and add to the composition as a whole. Although they are on opposite ends of the spectrum, the contrast in the warm and cool colors create balance in the piece. The pattern creates an overall repetition and works well with the textures provided by the gritty prints and white line work. Rhythm is also highly represented. This piece is called A Plethora of Voices and is in watercolor and ink. It has a nice texture that builds through the usage of the watercolors. The colors flow well together and create a unity through their similarity and saturation. The asymmetrical focal point draws attention and also makes for a dynamic composition. This piece is a poetry collection cover entitled Blue. It is in watercolor, which is the original image, in ink, and digital media. This piece uses a contrast between the whole and broken negative spaces to draw the viewer's attention towards the focal point of the cover. The chaotic blotting of watercolor mixed with the organized pen lines make for unity in this piece. This piece is a mixture of charcoal and ink laid over digital media called cracks. This piece uses the basic contrast between light and dark to manipulate the focal points of the composition. The textures provided by the overlay of the original charcoal ink piece make for an interesting emphasis on style. This piece is a digital media composition entitled Decay. The symmetry in the 2 faces depicted creates a rhythm with the overlay of smoke. Due to the middle smoke line being off-center a little, the balance is more interesting and dynamic. Because of the monochromatic coloring, the piece is tied together with harmony and is visually more appealing. This piece, called Nothing Like Radioactive Murder, is a series of 3 installments of digital media with ink overlay in the words. There is a hierarchy created by the 3 pieces to tell a story in 3 words. This creates unity throughout the whole piece, along with the same trees and font to achieve balance and tie the 3 installments into one continuous piece. My last piece is in digital media, and it is called Times Are Changing. The inversion of colors on this piece creates a dynamically interesting composition with the smoke overlaid against the landscape. The tonal quality is almost eerie, and the words are the most important aspect of this piece, holding different meaning for different viewers. Due to the fact that they are not in the center of the piece makes for an interesting visual balance. Thank you for taking the time to look at my Breath portfolio. Any feedback is appreciated.